Welcome back, Rare Coin Insider. In the vast world of coin collecting, every single piece of metal holds a story. A journey that stretches from the minting presses of America's coin factories to the pockets, drawers, and vaults of people all over the world. Among these countless coins, one stands out for its mystery, fascination, and staggering rumored value: the 2018 D Lincoln penny, a tiny copper-plated treasure that has captured the imagination of collectors, historians, and dreamers alike. When most people look at a penny, they see a coin worth just 1 cent, the smallest denomination of United States currency. But for those who know its secrets, the 2018 D penny represents something far greater: a symbol of rarity, an artifact of craftsmanship, and in certain extraordinary cases, a piece of metal that might be worth up to an unbelievable $51 million. To understand why a single coin could ever command such a number, we have to go back to the beginning, to the story of the Lincoln cent itself, and to the powerful legacy behind that familiar face of Abraham Lincoln gazing solemnly toward the right side of the coin. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was also the first U.S. coin to feature the portrait of an actual person, a historic departure from the traditional symbols of liberty and classical imagery that dominated earlier American coinage. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent became an instant icon, and over the decades, it evolved through different compositions, mint marks, and reverse designs, each variation telling a chapter of the nation's economic and cultural journey. Fast forward more than a century, and the 2018 D penny, struck at the Denver Mint, continues that same lineage, carrying the weight of history and the shine of modern minting precision. But beyond its standard circulation role, the 2018 D penny hides within it a potential for discovery that no one could have predicted when it first rolled off the presses. To start, let's talk about what this coin physically is. The 2018 D Lincoln penny weighs approximately 2.5 grams, a standard weight established in 1982 when the composition was changed from mostly copper to a core of 97.5% zinc coated with 2.5% copper. This shift was not just an economic choice, but a necessary adaptation, as the price of copper had risen to the point where making pennies out of pure copper actually cost more than their face value. The diameter of the coin is 19.05 millimeters, and it has a smooth edge with no reading. The D mint mark located just below the date indicates that the coin was produced in Denver, Colorado, one of the main minting facilities of the United States Mint, alongside Philadelphia, San Francisco, and West Point. On the obverse, or the front of the coin, we see the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has endured for over a century with only subtle modifications. Above his head are the words, "In God We Trust." To the left is the word, "Liberty," and to the right the date, 2018, followed by that small yet significant letter, D. On the reverse side, since 2010, the design has featured the Union Shield, representing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as one nation during the Civil War. The shield bears 13 vertical stripes symbolizing the original states, joined by a single horizontal bar at the top inscribed with E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one. Across the banner that stretches across the shield's face, the word 1 cent is prominently displayed. Beneath it, near the rim, sits United States of America. This design, created by artist Lendl Bass and sculpted by Joseph Mena, symbolizes Lincoln's efforts to unite the nation. It's a coin rich in meaning and artistry, yet simple in size and form, the kind of object we handle daily without giving it a second thought. But among the billions minted, a few rare examples of the 2018 D penny stand apart: coins with minting errors, anomalies, or unique characteristics that make them worth far more than their humble denomination suggests. Now, When collectors talk about a 2018 D penny being worth millions, they are not referring to the everyday pennies that you find in change jars or beneath couch cushions. The extraordinary values come from rare minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, and other unusual variations that occur during production. These errors can transform a common coin into a museum-worthy artifact. Imagine this: a coin minted slightly off-center, where part of the design is missing, or one struck twice, creating a ghost-like doubling of the image, or even one accidentally struck on a planchet intended for another denomination, such as a dime or a foreign coin. These rare occurrences are what ignite the frenzy in numismatic circles, where collectors and investors alike chase after coins that tell an extraordinary story. The rumor, and in some circles, the belief, that a 2018 D penny could be worth $51 million stems from such discoveries. While most documented error pennies are worth anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s depending on their condition and type of mistake, there have been cases where coins fetched astronomical sums due to their uniqueness and historical significance. A good comparison is the 1943 copper penny, a famous minting error where a few were accidentally struck in copper instead of the wartime steel composition. One of those 1943 copper cents sold for over $1.7 million. Similarly, a 1974 aluminum penny prototype surfaced years later, stirring immense interest and value speculation. So, when whispers began circulating online about a 2018 D penny with an ultra-rare minting anomaly being valued at $51 million, it naturally set the coin-collecting world ablaze with curiosity and debate. But beyond the headlines and viral claims, the fascination with such coins reveals something deeper about human nature: the thrill of discovery, the allure of hidden treasure, and the idea that even the smallest, most ordinary objects in our lives can hold unimaginable worth. Every penny has a potential story, and every collector dreams of finding that one in a billion piece that changes everything. For many, the 2018 D penny embodies that dream, a tiny gateway to hope, history, and maybe even fortune. It's incredible to think that a coin that costs just 1 cent to use in everyday transactions could, in theory, be worth more than the most luxurious mansion or the rarest piece of art. To truly grasp the 2018 D penny's journey, we must look closer at the Denver Mint, the birthplace of this particular coin. Established in 1906, the Denver Mint has been responsible for producing billions of coins every year, marked by that distinctive D symbol. The facility combines old-world craftsmanship with modern technology, ensuring precision in every strike. However, despite the meticulous quality control, the sheer scale of production, often over 1 billion coins per year, means that occasional errors are inevitable. These errors, while extremely rare, become numismatic treasures. The Denver Mint's long history includes numerous famous coin errors that later became collector legends, from double dies to misaligned strikes, and even coins struck on experimental planchets. It's entirely within the realm of possibility that among the billions of 2018 D pennies, a few were born with something extraordinary about them, a microscopic variation invisible to the casual observer but monumental to those who know what to look for. Collectors often begin their search by examining the details: the sharpness of Lincoln's features, the clarity of the lettering, and the crispness of the rim. Even the smallest imperfection can be a sign of something significant. Some 2018 D pennies have been found with what experts describe as die chips, small raised blobs of metal caused by damage to the die. Others have displayed slight doubling in the letters, especially in Liberty or In God We Trust, indicating a possible double die variety. A few have unusual luster or coloration, which can happen when the coin is struck on a slightly off metal planchet or exposed to unique environmental conditions shortly after minting. To the untrained eye, these might seem trivial, But to experienced numismatists, they can represent substantial value. Grading also plays a crucial role in determining a coin's market worth. Coins are evaluated by professional grading services such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. A 2018 D penny graded at a perfect mint state 70, MS70, meaning flawless condition, could already fetch a premium over face value among collectors, even without errors. But when such a coin also carries an anomaly or unique attribute, the price can skyrocket. Collectors prize originality, perfection, and rarity, and when all three align, the resulting market value can defy logic. That's where the fascination with million-dollar pennies truly begins. Now, let's consider why this particular date, 2018, might stand out. By this time, the U.S. Mint had been running the Lincoln Shield design for 8 years, and although production methods had become highly refined, 2018 saw massive output due to the strong economy and high demand for small change. With so many coins being struck, even a single misalignment or double die could create a unique rarity. Internet communities, especially on YouTube and Reddit, began sharing stories and videos claiming that some 2018 D pennies had sold for astronomical sums. Some claimed to have proof of rare double dies or experimental planchets, while others shared dramatic stories of finding valuable coins in loose change. While many of these viral posts were exaggerated or misinterpreted, they did ignite a global wave of penny hunters, each hoping to find the next legendary coin in their pocket. And this is where myth and reality start to blur. Could a 2018 D penny truly be worth $51 million? From a strict market standpoint, it seems improbable. Yet the value of collectibles often transcends logic. It's driven by emotion, rarity, story, and timing. If a coin with a one-of-a-kind minting anomaly were verified by experts, authenticated beyond doubt, and if it captured public imagination, its auction price could indeed soar to unimaginable heights. The world of high-end numismatics has seen similar phenomena. When rarity meets hype, even the smallest coin can command a price fit for royalty. To put this into context, think about the 1933 Double Eagle, a $20 gold coin that was never officially released to the public. One surviving specimen sold for over $18 million in 2021. Or consider the 1794 flowing hair silver dollar, believed to be the first U.S. silver dollar ever struck, which fetched over $10 million. In comparison, the idea of a penny reaching $51 million might sound fantastical. Yet, in the age of viral media and intense collector competition, it's not entirely impossible. A coin's value ultimately lies in what someone is willing to pay for it, and history shows that passion and rarity can turn the smallest things into priceless treasures. But the magic of the 2018 D penny isn't just about money, it's about meaning. It's about how an everyday object can become extraordinary simply through the lens of curiosity. When people begin to look closely, they discover art in the details. The fine lines in Lincoln's beard, the delicate curves of the lettering, the balance of the shield's design. They realize that each coin represents a piece of the nation's heritage, a tangible link between the past and the present. The 2018 D penny carries within it more than just copper and zinc. It carries the weight of history, the pride of craftsmanship, and the dream that somewhere out there, perhaps in your own wallet, lies a hidden gem waiting to be recognized. And that's just the beginning of the 2018 D penny's incredible story. The fascination with the 2018 D penny goes far beyond its copper sheen and historical design. It taps into something deeper within every collector, every dreamer, and every person who has ever wondered if fortune might be hiding in plain sight. The very idea that a coin worth only 1 cent could hold a hidden value of millions excites the imagination because it challenges what we think we know about money, rarity, and value itself. After all, How can two coins that look identical to the naked eye have such vastly different worth? The answer lies in the smallest details, the imperfections, the anomalies, and the unique quirks that make one coin stand apart from billions of others. Every coin that leaves the Denver Mint begins as a blank metal disc known as a planchet. These planchets are fed into high-speed presses that strike them with immense pressure, imprinting the design of Abraham Lincoln on one side and the Union shield on the other. In an ideal world, every strike would be perfect, every coin crisp, sharp, and uniform. But perfection, even in the age of advanced technology, is an illusion. Dies wear down. Machines misalign. Tiny particles of dust or grease can find their way onto the dies, altering the design in unpredictable ways. It's these minute errors, often invisible unless magnified, that turn ordinary coins into legendary collectibles. The 2018 D penny is no exception. One of the most discussed varieties is the so-called double die error. This happens when the die itself, the engraved steel piece that stamps the coin, shifts slightly between impressions during its creation, causing a doubled image when used to strike the coins. Collectors have identified pennies where the letters in Liberty or In God We Trust appear slightly doubled, giving them a ghostly echo effect. While minor doubling can occur due to mechanical shifts, true double die errors are rare and highly prized. Some collectors have reported finding such doubling on 2018 D pennies, and those coins, if authenticated by a grading company, could be worth thousands or more depending on the intensity and clarity of the doubling. Another variety that stirs excitement is the die break or die chip, small raised blobs of metal that appear on the coin surface due to cracks in the die. These chips can form anywhere, but when they occur near Lincoln's face, ear, or beard, they're often nicknamed for their appearance. The busted ear Lincoln, the cut on the nose, or the crown chip. These nicknames add charm to the collecting experience, turning what might be considered minting flaws into personality traits of the coin itself. A 2018 D penny with a prominent die chip might sell for only a few dollars more than face value, but in pristine condition or with an especially large and distinct error, it could command hundreds. But what pushes some 2018 D pennies into the realm of legend are the extraordinary, one-of-a-kind minting accidents, coins struck on the wrong metal planchet, or even struck twice in a way that misaligns the design entirely. In the world of coin collecting, a single example of such an error can become priceless simply because it's unique. Imagine a 2018 D penny struck on a dime planchet, thinner, lighter, and silver-colored. Or a coin struck off-center so drastically that half of Lincoln's face is missing. These are the kinds of coins that attract intense bidding wars among collectors and investors who know that rarity, combined with story, equals astronomical value. Now, where does this rumored figure of $51 million come from? It's believed to have originated from a viral story circulated across social media and YouTube, claiming that a 2018 D penny with a rare minting error was appraised at that amount. Although no verified sale or auction record confirms such a transaction, the story took on a life of its own. Viewers across the world began searching their change, convinced that they might have stumbled upon a modern-day treasure. In reality, the idea of a penny being worth $51 million reflects not a specific confirmed sale, but the symbolic power of the coin, a testament to how much value we, as a society, can attach to rarity, myth, and the dream of discovery. However, while the exact figure may be exaggerated, it's important to note that coin values are indeed capable of reaching incredible heights. Rarity, condition, and provenance can push prices to the stratosphere. When collectors compete, prices soar. The 2018 D penny, because of its modernity, often surprises people by appearing in discussions of high-value coins, since most expect only old, historical coins to be valuable. But modern mint errors can be equally captivating, especially when discovered unexpectedly in circulation. This accessibility, the idea that anyone, anywhere, could find one, makes it even more magical. For anyone hoping to identify a valuable 2018 D penny, there are a few things to look for. First, examine the coin's surface under a bright light or magnifying glass. Check the lettering, especially Liberty, in God We Trust, and the date. Any visible doubling or irregular thickness could indicate a double die. Next, inspect Lincoln's ear and jawline. Small die chips can appear there. Also look at the reverse. The shield should have clean, even lines, and any raised blobs of metal or missing areas could signal a mint error. Weight can also be an indicator. While the standard weight is 2.5 grams, a coin that weighs slightly more or less might have been struck on a foreign or missized planchet. Collectors often use a digital scale and a jeweler's loupe to check these details. A coin that looks suspiciously unusual should be sent to a professional grading service for authentication. If confirmed as a true error, the grading company will encapsulate it in a tamper-proof holder, assign it a grade, and record it in their database. Once that happens, the coin's market value can rise dramatically because buyers trust certified coins far more than raw, ungraded ones. The grading scale itself is another fascinating world. Ranging from poor, P1, to mint state 70, MS70, it measures the coin's condition, strike quality, and surface preservation. A 2018 D penny in MS70 condition, even without an error, might already sell for a modest premium among collectors who seek perfect specimens for their sets. Add a confirmed mint error, and suddenly the price could jump to hundreds, thousands, or in rare cases, tens of thousands of dollars. What makes coins like the 2018 D penny so compelling is that they exist at the crossroads of art, history, and chance. Every penny tells the story of a moment in time, a reflection of the technology, economy, and craftsmanship of its era. The fact that the Lincoln penny design has endured for over a century speaks to its deep-rooted symbolism in American culture. It's not just currency, it's a tribute to leadership, unity, and endurance. And the Denver Mint, with its powerful presses and exacting standards, continues to carry that legacy forward, one strike at a time. It's remarkable to think that each coin passes through so many hands, each person unaware that one of those tiny discs might one day become a piece of history. Some of the world's most valuable coins were once thought to be worthless. The 1804 silver dollar, for example, was struck decades after its date, yet it became one of the most famous and expensive coins ever sold. Likewise, the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, of which only 5 are known to exist, fetched millions in private auctions. The same principle applies to the 2018 D penny. Rarity, verification, and demand can transform its value from a cent to a fortune. What drives this passion among collectors isn't just money, it's the thrill of connection. Every coin links us to the people who designed it, minted it, and used it. The 2018 D penny connects us to the craftsmen at the Denver Mint, to the long line of Lincoln cents that came before it, and to the millions of Americans who have carried it in their wallets without realizing the story it holds. To own a rare or valuable penny is to own a tangible piece of history that survived against all odds. It's also worth understanding that the coin market, like any market, fluctuates with time, trends, and public interest. When a particular coin gains attention through viral media or a major auction sale, its perceived value can rise overnight. Collectors who once ignored modern pennies may suddenly begin hoarding them, driving up demand. As more people learn about error coins and varieties, the competition to find them intensifies. The story of the 2018 D penny became one such catalyst, inspiring thousands to dig through old jars, check vending machine change, and scour bank rolls in hopes of discovering something extraordinary. Even though no official record confirms a $51 million sale, the legend persists because it speaks to something universal. The dream that ordinary people can stumble upon unimaginable wealth purely by paying attention. That's the beauty of numismatics, the science and art of coin collecting. It turns observation into opportunity, patience into discovery, and curiosity into knowledge. Every time someone picks up a penny and studies it carefully, they are not just handling metal, they are participating in a century-old tradition of human wonder. As of today, the market value for most 2018 pennies remains modest, typically 1 cent in circulation or a few cents in bulk uncirculated rolls. However, authenticated error varieties have sold for anywhere between $50 and $500 depending on the specifics. High-grade examples certified by PCGS or NGC can fetch $1,000 or more. And the rarest of them, those that combine significant minting errors with pristine condition, have the potential to command tens of thousands at auction. Whether or not any specific specimen will ever reach the rumored $51 million mark, one thing is certain. The 2018 penny has already achieved something far greater. It has captured the imagination of the world, transforming the most humble denomination into a modern legend. So, the next time you find a penny, don't dismiss it. Hold it up to the light. Look closely at Lincoln's solemn face, at the glint of copper and the tiny D that marks its origin. It might just be another coin, or it could be a piece of history waiting for you to notice it. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes the smallest stories carry the greatest value. There is something almost poetic about how a simple penny can become a global obsession. The 2018 penny represents more than just a coin. It embodies the mystery of modern treasure hunting, the intersection of luck and knowledge, and the enduring power of human curiosity. In every generation, there comes a story that blurs the line between myth and reality, and in the world of coins, this one-cent piece from Denver has become that story. People who had never before cared about mint marks or coin designs suddenly found themselves turning over pennies in their hands, squinting at the tiny letters, hoping to glimpse a sign that their ordinary coin might be something extraordinary. The 2018 penny became a symbol of hope, a reminder that miracles can hide in plain sight. Imagine the excitement of an ordinary person discovering a coin in pocket change that turns out to be worth a fortune. That fantasy ignites something ancient in our imagination, the same spark that drove explorers to search for lost gold or archaeologists to unearth forgotten civilizations. The world may have changed, but the thrill of the hunt remains timeless. When collectors talk about the 2018 penny, they don't just speak about metal, they speak about dreams. They speak about the chance, however small, that the universe might whisper a secret through a coin no bigger than a button. Yet behind every legend lies a foundation of truth. The reason such coins can become so valuable is rooted in the complex world of numismatics. In coin collecting, rarity is everything. But rarity alone isn't enough. It must be combined with condition, historical context, and demand. The 2018 penny, though modern, fits this equation when it carries an error or unusual feature. For instance, consider the concept of a transitional error, a coin struck using the wrong composition or design due to leftover dies or planchets from previous years. If a 2018 penny were struck using an experimental blank or on a leftover metal from another denomination, it could instantly become a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Such coins are extremely rare, but history has shown that they do exist. In 1943, when the United States switched from copper to steel cents to save copper for wartime production, a few copper blanks accidentally remained in the minting machines. The result was the now legendary 1943 copper penny. Only a handful were ever confirmed, and they became some of the most valuable coins in history. One sold for over $1 million. This is what collectors call a miracle of minting, a perfect storm of timing, error, and rarity. It's the same kind of story that fuels speculation around the 2018 D penny. People wonder, could history have repeated itself? Could one of those billions of 2018 pennies have been struck on the wrong metal, giving birth to the next great American rarity? To answer that, we must look at how coins are made in today's highly mechanized world. The Denver Mint operates with incredible precision, producing coins at lightning speed. Each die strikes hundreds of thousands of planchets before being replaced, and the machines are calibrated to fractions of a millimeter. Yet, perfection on a massive scale is still statistically impossible. Even with state-of-the-art quality control, anomalies slip through. And that's where magic happens, in the unpredictable imperfections of mass production. A single penny out of a billion might bear a small twist of fate, a deviation so subtle that it escapes detection until years later, when a sharp-eyed collector spots it. These discoveries don't happen overnight. Many of the most valuable coins in history spent decades in circulation before being recognized. Some were found in old jars, estate sales, or inherited collections. Others were pulled from rolls purchased at banks by determined hobbyists, who examine every coin with patience and precision. This practice, known as coin roll hunting, has exploded in popularity since stories of valuable modern coins began circulating online. Thousands of people now record their hunts on YouTube, sharing discoveries, teaching identification methods, and feeding the collective fascination. The 2018 D penny became one of the most hunted modern coins in history, inspiring countless videos, posts, and discussions. As this new generation of collectors emerged, so did a deeper appreciation for what coins represent. Every 2018 D penny, whether common or rare, is a piece of America's story, a tangible link between the people who mint the coins and those who use them. In a world where so much of our economy has gone digital, coins remain a physical reminder of trust, labor, and tradition. The penny might be the smallest denomination, but it carries the largest symbolism. It bears the face of Abraham Lincoln, a man whose legacy stands for honesty, perseverance, and unity. Perhaps that's why the idea of a Lincoln penny worth millions resonates so powerfully. It connects the idea of greatness not with grandeur, but with humility. Numismatics teaches us that every coin has two values: its monetary worth and its story. The story often becomes the real treasure. Consider the 2018 D penny again. Even without the mythical $51 million tag, its existence tells a fascinating story of modern minting, digital age mythmaking, and the human desire to find meaning in small things. The viral legends around this coin may have begun as exaggeration, but they have fueled a real movement, a renewed global interest in coins, collecting, and American history. And that, in its own way, has value beyond any price tag. Still, to collectors, the question lingers: could such a coin truly be worth $51 million? To understand that, we must explore how coin valuation works at the highest levels. When a coin with exceptional rarity or historical significance appears, it enters a completely different market, a realm where millionaires, museums, and institutions compete for ownership. These coins are often sold through prestigious auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers Galleries, where bidding wars can send prices soaring. The record-breaking sales of the 1933 Double Eagle and the 1794 Flowing Hair dollars show that, in the right circumstances, a coin's value can indeed transcend all logic. If a 2018 D penny with a verified one-of-a-kind error were ever to surface, authenticated beyond doubt, it could theoretically achieve an unprecedented price simply because of its modernity and fame. In the psychology of collecting, value isn't determined only by rarity, but by the story that accompanies it. A coin with a narrative that captures the public imagination becomes more than metal, it becomes myth. The 2018 D penny's story has already entered that territory. Even people who don't collect coins have heard rumors about the mysterious one-cent piece worth millions. This shared cultural awareness gives the coin a kind of fame that enhances its perceived worth, much like how art gains value through reputation and legend. There is also a growing fascination among investors who see rare coins as tangible assets, pieces of history that hold value regardless of economic fluctuations. For them, the 2018 D penny represents a speculative dream, a chance to own a piece of the story that captured millions of imaginations. Whether real or exaggerated, that dream fuels an entire economy of collectors, appraisers, and dealers. Online marketplaces like eBay and Etsy are filled with listings of 2018 D pennies, some priced absurdly high, others modestly, each seller hoping to catch the eye of someone chasing the legend. But what separates myth from money in this case is verification. The professional grading companies are the gatekeepers of legitimacy. Without certification from PCGS, NGC, or Annex, a coin's claimed rarity remains speculation. Only through microscopic analysis, X-ray fluorescence testing, and high-resolution imaging can experts confirm whether a coin truly contains an anomaly or unusual metal composition. If a 2018 D penny were found that defied all known minting records, that discovery would send shockwaves through the numismatic community. It would be featured in Coin World, the numismatic news, and covered by every major media outlet. The coin would likely be placed in a museum or auctioned with global attention. And at that point, its price, even if not exactly $51 million, could easily reach into the tens of millions. But beyond the hype, there's something profoundly beautiful about how this tiny coin has inspired people. It reminds us that even in an age of technology, we still crave wonder. We still want to believe that the ordinary can hide the extraordinary. For many, searching for the 2018 D penny became less about getting rich and more about participating in a shared adventure, a global scavenger hunt powered by curiosity. Children and adults alike began learning about mint marks, coin grades, and U.S. history, all because of one small rumor. That kind of impact cannot be measured in dollars. In truth, the real worth of the 2018 D penny may lie not in its metal or its market price, but in the inspiration it brings. It reminds people to look closer, to notice the details, to question assumptions. It shows that even the smallest things can hold infinite stories. And for those who believe in luck, it whispers that perhaps one day, a single penny might indeed change everything. As of the current coin market, regular 2018 D pennies in circulation remain common, with billions minted. Uncirculated rolls and mint sets can still be found, often selling for small premiums among collectors. Error varieties, particularly those confirmed as double dies or struck through foreign material, have sold for hundreds or even thousands depending on grade and visibility of the error. While the $51 million figure remains symbolic, it serves a purpose. It keeps the legend alive, encouraging new collectors to join the world of numismatics, where every coin holds a mystery. The legend of the 2018 D penny will likely continue to evolve. Future discoveries could yet rewrite the narrative. Perhaps a unique experimental strike will surface, or a misstruck specimen will emerge from a forgotten collection. When that happens, the story will rise again, stronger than before, because legends in the coin world never truly die. They just wait in drawers, boxes, and jars until someone curious enough decides to look closer. And that's the magic of it all, that a coin so small, so common, can hold such vast meaning. Somewhere out there, maybe in someone's pocket right now, lies a coin that could change their life. Maybe it's resting in a collection, unnoticed, its luster fading, waiting for its moment to be recognized. Maybe it's sitting in a roll of pennies at a bank, passed over by hundreds of hands. But one day, someone will notice the tiny differences, the faint doubling, the misaligned strike, the off-metal shimmer, and realize that they are holding something priceless. When that moment comes, the 2018 D penny will once again remind the world that fortune favors the observant, that value can hide in the smallest of places, and that history is often waiting right beneath our fingertips. The 2018 D penny has done something few modern coins ever achieve. It has blurred the boundary between fact and folklore. Somewhere between the mint and the imagination of millions, it became more than a coin, it became a legend. What began as a small copper-plated disc rolling off the presses in Denver transformed into a symbol of possibility. People across the world, from seasoned collectors to casual dreamers, started looking at their spare change differently. Every penny suddenly carried the potential to be the one, the mythical piece that could rewrite their fate. In living rooms and kitchens, in gas stations and schools, people began to examine their coins beneath desk lamps, holding them close to their eyes, comparing the tiniest details. The search became a shared ritual, a quiet form of hope in a world often driven by digital distractions. The idea that something as humble as a penny could hold unimaginable value resonated deeply because it represented a kind of poetic justice, that ordinary things still had the power to surprise us. The story of the 2018 D penny echoes an ancient truth. Humanity has always sought meaning in small discoveries. From the first seashells used as currency to the gold coins of empires, every generation has had its treasures. Yet, what makes the penny's story so unique is that it isn't buried deep in the earth or hidden in ancient ruins. It's circulating right now, within reach of everyone. That accessibility turns it into a modern myth we can all participate in. Many collectors describe the experience of finding a rare coin as electric, a moment of disbelief followed by a rush of wonder. Some say it feels like time stops, as if history itself has whispered your name. There have been countless tales of people finding valuable coins by accident. A father cleaning out his late grandfather's drawer, a teenager checking his pocket change, an elderly woman sorting through coins for laundry money. Each story begins with something ordinary and ends with something extraordinary. The 2018 D penny has inspired thousands of these searches, each one fueled by the dream of being the next lucky discoverer. But what truly separates the seasoned numismatist from the casual enthusiast is the knowledge that value comes not just from rarity, but from preservation. The way a coin is handled, stored, and displayed can mean the difference between a few dollars and a small fortune. The oils from human fingers can corrode the metal over time, so collectors use gloves or soft cloths to handle their coins. They keep them in airtight holders, away from humidity and light. They document every detail: the mint mark, the grade, the error type, and the provenance. These habits turn collecting into both a science and an art. For a 2018 D penny to reach its maximum potential value, it must be authenticated, graded, and preserved with care. A coin certified by PCGS or NGC, labeled with an official grade like MS67 Red or MS68 Red, instantly becomes part of a respected registry of excellence. Those tiny numbers matter enormously in the collecting world. A 1-point difference in grade can translate into thousands of dollars in market price. And when a coin also bears an error or unique variety, that number can skyrocket. Imagine the drama of an auction room when such a coin is unveiled. Collectors from around the world tune in, the tension thick, the bidding fierce. Cameras flash, the auctioneer's voice quickens, and as the hammer falls, a ripple of awe fills the room. That is where legends are born, where metal becomes myth, and stories like the 2018 D penny live forever. Even if the mythical $51 million price tag remains unproven, the energy surrounding it mirrors the excitement of those grand auction nights, where history and emotion collide. Behind every great coin lies the craftsmanship of the mint workers, the unsung artisans of American money. The Denver Mint, responsible for the 2018 D penny, stands as a fortress of precision and heritage. Within its walls, Millions of coins come to life each day, their metallic rhythm echoing like a heartbeat. To walk through that facility is to witness the fusion of past and present. Massive presses stamping the image of Lincoln, molten metal being transformed into sheets of potential value, engineers checking tolerances measured in microns. Each stage is both mechanical and miraculous. The thought that a small imperfection in that vast machinery could create a one-of-a-kind coin worth a fortune is part of what makes collecting so compelling. For many, the penny also carries emotional symbolism. It's the first coin children learn to recognize, the first they save in jars or piggy banks. It's left on gravestones, tossed into fountains for wishes, pressed into souvenirs. The 2018 D penny, with its gleaming shield on the back, feels like a guardian of that collective memory, a reminder that the simplest objects can hold the deepest meaning. Perhaps that's why its legend took hold so quickly. It's not just about money, it's about nostalgia, belief, and the desire to find magic in everyday life. As the story spread online, debates raged in comment sections and forums. Some insisted the $51 million claim was pure myth. Others swore by it, citing screenshots, videos, or appraisals. But regardless of who was right, one truth became clear. The 2018 D penny had reignited a global fascination with numismatics. Coin clubs saw new memberships surge. YouTube channels dedicated to coin collecting gained millions of views. People who hadn't thought about coins in years began searching through their change again. The penny had become more than currency, it was now culture. Economists often say that value is a social agreement, that something is worth what people collectively decide it is. In that sense, the 2018 D penny achieved its mythical status not because of intrinsic material, but because of the belief it inspired. It became a symbol of possibility, of hidden worth, of the idea that value can be found where we least expect it. And in a world increasingly dominated by digital transactions, where money exists as numbers on screens, the physicality of a coin feels even more precious. To hold a penny is to hold a tangible connection to a system of trust that has lasted centuries. Over time, stories like these remind us that money, in its purest form, is about faith in metal, in institutions, in stories. The 2018 D penny reminds us that our fascination with coins isn't just about wealth, it's about wonder. It's about the idea that history is still alive in our hands. Each scratch, each glint of copper, each faint letter carries echoes of the countless moments that coin has passed through: vending machines, cash registers, pockets, and palms. Somewhere along the way, it gathered meaning. As years pass, the true financial value of the 2018 D penny may fluctuate, but its cultural value will remain. It will be discussed in classrooms, featured in documentaries, and remembered as the coin that captured the imagination of a generation. And perhaps that's its real legacy, not its price tag, but its power to make people look closer, to appreciate the beauty in details, to rediscover curiosity in an age of distraction. If you think about it, that's what collecting is all about. It's not about greed, it's about gratitude. It's about preserving stories. A collector doesn't just accumulate coins, they safeguard fragments of human history. Each piece they hold represents craftsmanship, time, and purpose. The 2018 D penny, in all its mystery, serves as a modern reminder of that sacred duty. And so, when someone picks up a penny from the ground, they're not just lifting metal, they're lifting possibility. Maybe that's why so many people still bend down for one, whispering that old saying, "Find a penny, pick it up, and all day you'll have good luck." It's more than superstition. It's acknowledgement, a quiet nod to the idea that value can appear anywhere, even in the smallest of things. In the end, the tale of the 2018 D penny isn't just about a coin that might be worth millions. It's about faith and discovery, the thrill of curiosity, and the simple truth that treasures still exist, not buried deep in the earth, but right in front of us, waiting to be noticed. It's about how hope can turn a 1-cent coin into a symbol of limitless potential. So, the next time you hear that faint clink of change in your pocket, think of the 2018 D penny. Think of the hands that struck it, the stories it carries, the dream it represents. Maybe one of those coins will one day rewrite history. Maybe it already has. Because sometimes, legends don't need to be proven to be powerful. Sometimes, belief itself is enough to make something priceless. And now, as we reach the end of this journey into the heart of the 2018 D penny, something deeper begins to emerge. Something that goes beyond coins, numbers, or money. It's about the human story behind it all. The story of curiosity, a passion, of people searching for meaning in the smallest corners of their world. Every coin has a story, but the story of this penny feels different. It's not just a tale about copper and mint marks. It's a mirror reflecting who we are. Seekers of mystery, believers in luck, dreamers chasing the extraordinary hidden inside the ordinary. Think for a moment about how this all began. A coin worth just 1 cent, one of the most common denominations on Earth, suddenly becomes the center of a global conversation. It travels through pockets, across continents, from cash registers to collectors' hands, until one day someone looks a little closer. They see something different, a mark, a doubling, a faint flaw, something that shouldn't be there, and just like that, history changes. That is how legends are born. Not with fanfare, not with planning, but with discovery. The 2018 D penny's legend is not just about luck, it's about perspective. It's a lesson in awareness, that sometimes, what we overlook every day could be the very thing that changes our lives. In a world that moves too fast, this tiny coin asks us to slow down and look, to notice the small details, to value the simple things. Because the truth is, everything extraordinary begins as something ordinary that someone decided to look at differently. Somewhere right now, another person is turning over a handful of change, unaware that a piece of history might be resting in their palm. Somewhere, another dream is about to awaken. That's the magic of this story. It's not finished. It's still being written, one discovery at a time. You could be the next chapter. You could be the one to find the coin that changes everything. Imagine it. You open your wallet, you empty a jar, and there it is, that tiny D mint mark shining back at you under the light. You take a closer look, your heart starts to race, your fingers tremble. The design seems sharper, the texture different, something unusual about the strike. In that moment, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding a question. Could this be the one? That feeling, that heartbeat of discovery, is what drives every collector, every treasure hunter, every dreamer. And if you do find it, if one day you hold that perfect, pristine 2018 D penny that captures the world's attention, remember that it's not just about the money. It's about the journey, the patience, the curiosity that led you there. Because every great find begins with belief. Belief that something incredible might be waiting to be found. That's what keeps people searching, that's what keeps hope alive, that's what gives this penny its soul. Even now, the coin continues to move, through circulation, through time, through hands that may never realize what they're touching. It's out there, hidden among billions of others, quietly waiting for the right pair of eyes to notice. And maybe that's the greatest mystery of all, that something so small can carry such enormous potential, that 1 cent can hold $51 million worth of wonder. Collectors say the real treasure is not the coin itself, but the story it tells. This 2018 D penny tells a story of transformation, from overlooked to overvalued, from forgotten to famous, from pocket change to legend. It reminds us that worth is not always obvious, and that even the humblest things can rise to greatness. There's poetry in that, a kind of symmetry between the coin and the people who search for it. Just as the penny is small yet valuable, the dreamer too might feel small in a big world, yet capable of discovering something that defies expectation. That's the deeper truth behind the myth. It's not about luck, it's about vision, the courage to look where others don't, to believe when others doubt, to turn a simple coin into a symbol of hope. And if you've watched this far, that means you're part of this story too. You're one of the believers, one of the curious ones. The kind of person who doesn't just see money, but meaning. Who doesn't just chase riches, but discovery. You understand that what makes something truly valuable is not its price, but its purpose. So, the next time you see a penny lying on the ground, don't ignore it. Pick it up. Hold it to the light. Let it remind you that greatness can hide in plain sight. That the next big treasure might already be in your hand. That in every ordinary moment, there is a chance for something extraordinary. The 2018 D penny may one day break records, or maybe it already has. But its real legacy will live in stories like this, in people like you, in the endless search for the remarkable within the routine. Because that's what keeps the world turning, not just money, but wonder. And as this story closes, imagine that final shot in your mind, the penny glimmering softly under the light, its edges worn from countless hands, its surface glowing like it carries the secrets of time. The voice fades, the music swells, and somewhere, that tiny D-mint mark catches a sparkle, a whisper of destiny still waiting to be found. Maybe one day it will be you. Maybe one day your name will be written into coin collecting history. Maybe one day your story will inspire the next dreamer to look closer, to believe deeper, to never stop searching. Because sometimes, all it takes is one penny to remind the world how priceless belief can be. And until that moment comes, keep your eyes open, keep your hopes alive, and keep your dreams shining, just like that little coin that started it all. If you enjoyed this story, if you believe that hidden treasures still exist, then stay with us. There are more mysteries waiting, more legends to uncover, more stories to tell. So check your coins, hold on to curiosity, and remember, in a world full of change, the smallest piece can still make the biggest difference. Because in the end, a penny is never just a penny. It's a promise that even the simplest things can be worth more than we ever imagined.